Hi everyone, this is Rob. Welcome to Module 8. I'm just going to go through a very quick overview of what to expect. This particular module is going to be dealing with accessibility and universal design, inclusive course design, because as you become e-learning course designers, you're going to want to make sure that you design your content to be absolutely as accessible as possible. And also as universally designed as possible so that you can accommodate as many users as possible. It's really difficult and expensive and time consuming to go back and retroactively correct course content. It's much better to be as proactive as possible when you're designing content to make sure that it is ready to go before you actually launch it. There's kind of a couple ways to approach accessibility. There's both accessibility and there's accommodation. One is arguably proactive and one is arguably reactive. Accommodation is typically a reactive position. So that is going to be trying to adapt the content to accommodate a particular disability. So somebody presents with a particular issue and they have to have additional technology or there has to be additional support for them. Accessible course design is more proactive, it's more prescriptive. It's actually trying to be as aggressive as possible to make sure that the content is designed correctly the first time, that you don't have to go on and make any sort of changes afterward. So it's much better to be sort of proactive and design with accessibility in mind right from the very beginning. So we're going to talk all about some best strategies and tips and tricks and things to make your course as accessible as possible, as inclusive as possible, as universally designed as possible. Now, all of those things mean different things. We're not going to go into, this is not an accessibility course, so we're not going to go into each one of those in a great detail. Remember that this is only a 1-week module, so you're going to get kind of an immersion into accessibility. So the launch page just tells a little bit about what we're going to be doing, and I'll go through that in more detail here in just a moment. So here's a little bit of an online lecture that I hope that you'll take advantage of and look at some of those links that I've provided for you there. The readings, I provide you a variety of different readings, but they don't take a terribly long time. I think in total, this may be about an hour, something like that in reading. If you kind of add all those times up. There is one video that I really hope that you'll watch. Susie Miller is a colleague of mine. She's from the UK. She was actually our keynote speaker for an accessibility conference we had here in Kansas last year. So she's really on her game. She's very well known. She writes books, presents all the time, very well respected in the field of accessibility. I really idolize her, the work that she's done and all of the great things she does in this field. She really sort of focuses in her specialty is looking at the tools like Articulate and things like that. She's really kind of sort of dials in on making content, e-learning content, and the tools as accessible as possible. That's kind of her forte. So she's going to tell you all about some really great information regarding that. So it's about an hour video, a little over an hour, but it's really, really good. You'll enjoy hearing from Susie. And I've got some additional resources for you to take a look at, some free downloads, some EPUBs, some really great resources. So I hope you'll take advantage of those. And kind of moving along. There's a Flipgrid. Pivoting back to a Flipgrid conversation. I'd like you to take a look at a website of your choice. Could be Coursera, Udemy, edX, Knowbility, HarvardX, whatever. And find or pick out some elements that you think make a really robust, accessible experience. So it could be that they allow you to change languages. It could be that they have excellent captioning and transcription. It could be that the colors and the inclusive imagery is really well done. So come back and do a quick screen recording. You have up to 10 minutes. and share what you liked about that particular course. And I've given you a few prompts here to think about. Is the site culturally sensitive? What inclusive elements are included? Does it have multiple language support? Do the videos include captions and transcripts? Are the colors and contrast accessible? Do the images include alt tags? Things like that. So, and there's other things as well, but that'll at least get you kind of started. Then the assignment, I would like you to go to this particular website, and there's some information sort of precedes it, but inside that website is a link to a little short course, an accessibility course, kind of a real short crash course. You don't have to pay for it, or you don't have to log in or create an account or anything like that. But there is a little short quiz, and I would like you to take the quiz at the end of that little short course. By the way, this is done in Storyline. Take that little short course and then send me a screen grab of your final score. And that'll constitute the assignment for this particular course. That short course takes less than 30 minutes to go through. It's pretty simple. It's just a quick overview of some of the major items that you should be designing for when you put together course content. So real simple, really easy. Take the little short quiz and then send me a screenshot of the final score on that. Okay, and that will wrap up this particular unit.